Hey, everybody, it's Dr. E with a message for you today, and it stems from this quote. Confidence comes not from always being right, but from not fearing being wrong. And this relates to our virtue of the week as well, which is decisiveness. I'm so excited to tie these two things together. Now, my brother told me not to read these things out loud, but the teacher in me, I can't help it. I just think that there's power in reading out loud some words in such a way that it has more impact than when we read it to ourselves. So I hope that you enjoy me reading this to you. I miss reading to my students. So here we go. Decisiveness is firmness of the mind in taking a stand or making a decision. It requires us to be courageous and discerning. At times, a choice appears and we must make it instantly without hesitation, prompted by a deep knowing that it is right and timely. Decisiveness can also call us to hold the decision with patience, prayer, and deep contemplation. We seek a pure intent, which guides us to a conclusion we can trust. Then one day we reach the bedrock of truth and know it's time to act. We move forward with resolve and confidence. There's that word confidence. Being decisive, we are content with our decisions and do not second guess ourselves. The timing of a good decision is just divine. All right, decisiveness. I'm loving that card. And I chose that virtue this week because I got decisions to make, y'all. And we all make decisions all the time. And so I will say that one of the reasons, and so that's one of the reasons why I chose decisiveness, because I got decisions to make. I'm at a point in my life where I feel like I've come full circle professionally. We moved to Texas 18, 19 years ago, 2000, 2002, for me to become a teacher. And I became a teacher and I taught for years and I became an instructional coach and I taught high school, I taught middle school, and now I'm an elementary school assistant principal. And now I contemplate becoming a building principal. And there's other options on the table. Do I stay in Dallas? Do I move to other places? And so I've got decisions to make. And I can say that personally, when I have felt indecisive, it's because I felt not confident in my ability to make the best decision for myself. That fear of being wrong made me stand still and be stuck, you know. When you feel confident in your ability to make decisions that will serve you well, you can make them. There's no hesitation. But when we're uncertain, oh my goodness, will this work out? And that fear of being wrong and people seeing us as wrong. I'm going to veer off just a little bit because I'll tell you that a part of when a relationship ends, when a marriage ends, when a 25-year marriage ends, a part of the angst and pain around that is knowing that people will look at you and say, "Wow, did you make the right decision?" I mean, you know, and you fear. I fear people questioning my ability to make good decisions. But I've said to you guys before that you can't make decisions from a place of fear, and I know that. And so that's part of the reason why I chose to reflect on decisiveness, but also because I think it's important for us we make decisions all the time. We make decisions about what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear, which way we're going to drive to work, jobs we're going to take, people we're going to let into our lives, people we're going to cut out of our lives, places we're going to go, all of those types of things. And so we have to be confident in our decisions. And we have to accept the fact that sometimes we're going to be wrong. Sometimes things aren't going to work out the way we want them to. That's okay. You'll learn. And in fact, I have strong feelings about what it means to fail or to do something wrong. You really can't. Everything is learning opportunity, and there's joy in all of it, guys. So if you ask yourself, how can Dr. E still choose joy while she's going through a separation and impending divorce? How can she do that? How can we choose joy in a time of COVID when people are getting sick and dying? How do we choose joy when winter storms knocked out power and destroyed pipes and destroyed apartments and people have to move? How do we choose joy when, life doesn't stop? In the midst of all of those things, we still have expectations. We still have to wake up every morning and go to work and do things, sometimes things that we don't want to do. How do you still choose joy? Like, why not? What's the alternative? To choose sadness, to choose misery? That doesn't make sense. This is what I should tell my students. When you wake up in the morning to the time you go to sleep at night, when you go to sleep at night, that day is over. You never get that day again. Why not live it till its fullest potential and wring out every ounce of joy and happiness and growth and opportunity that you possibly could? So if you ask yourself, how could you choose joy when so many, harsh and challenging things are going on? Because it's the best alternative. I'll tell you something that I did today that brought me joy. Well, first of all, lots of things brought me joy from the moment that I step outside and say good morning to my fourth and first graders and my kinders with all this love and joy and innocence. My second graders who are rowdy and I got to correct every day. The fourth graders that I had to discipline today. All of that brought me joy because it was an opportunity for me to show up and show out. It was an opportunity for Dr. E to be Dr. E. But one of the things that I did one day this week in the happiness calendar, the happiness action was to go outside and find 5 things that you find beautiful. And I did that. I went out and I found some things. I love being in nature, so that wasn't difficult for me. But this morning I found a bird's nest. Okay, so in one of the trees that has lost all of its leaves, and this is what happens in the wintertime, right? When the leaves are all gone, you can see all the birds' nests. And this is a little short tree, and I'm a short woman, and so I was able to go to this like go way up. It wasn't a bird there, and just look at the twigs and in the bird nest. And man, I wanted to show people that. I was delighted by that. I am delighted by the simplest of things. And so if you give yourself to that, give yourself to the simplest things, the fact that birds will gather twig after twig after twig after twig and put together a little house to birth and nurse and teach their little babies is amazing to me. So if you haven't ever done that, do that. One of the things that I suggested this week in the email, go on a mindful walk. Make an intention. You're gonna go out and just find things to 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 see as beautiful. I mean, that's some joy in that, guys. And then of course, I'll be inspired to write a haiku. I wrote a haiku yesterday about the waning full moon in the sky. I don't know why, but it brings me so much delight to see the moon in the morning sky on my way to work. So take some time to do that. Take some time to find some things in nature. Here in North Texas, the weather is beautiful. After all of that destructive snow and ice, we've had some really beautiful weather, and I am taking advantage of it. And I invite you guys to do the same no matter where you are. Um, let nature soothe you. It's a wonderful way to choose joy. So I hope that you've enjoyed this message. I've enjoyed delivering it to you. I always do. I enjoy teaching. I enjoy sharing my experience, strength, and hope with you guys. And I hope that you find something helpful in these little talks that I give to you. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I know that I will. Take care.